I want to go over the steps with you on how to find an inverse function. So here we have a rational function, f of x equals negative 2x divided by x minus 1. The first step is to take it out of function notation. Just instead of writing f of x, write y instead. Okay, now we switch the x's and y's. So anywhere there's a y, you put an x instead. Anywhere there's an x, you put a y instead. And now we want to go ahead and solve for y. The process of solving for y kind of undoes the function. It does all the inverse operations, and that's why it gives us the inverse. You'll notice that there are 2 y's here. We do need to get it down to only being 1 y. So if I'm going to solve this, I first of all want to get rid of the fraction. So I think I'll multiply both sides by y minus 1, just to cancel out that denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute the x over here because I don't want the y to be trapped inside parentheses. Okay, so I've gotten rid of the fraction by multiplying by the denominator y minus 1. I went ahead and distributed it over there on the left-hand side. So what I'm seeing here now is that I have 2 terms that have y in them, xy on one side and negative 2y on the other side. I really need to get those terms together because I want to isolate y, a single y. Those terms need to be together on the same side so that I can factor out the y. So let's go ahead and subtract the negative xy to the other side. You really have to do that to get all of the y terms together. And that way you can factor. I think I'm not only just going to factor out a y, I think I'll factor out a negative y because both of those terms are negative. Okay, so I do now see a single y, which is good. It's almost done. I can isolate that by dividing both sides by 2 plus x. It's still not isolated. I still have a negative y, so let's go ahead and undo that by multiplying by negative 1, or you can divide by negative 1, either way. That's good because over here we also have a negative sign, so now that both sides will just be positive. So I get y equals x over, let's say x plus 2. Put it in descending order. The last step is to just rewrite it into function notation. So instead of writing y, I'll write f inverse. So f inverse of x equals x divided by x plus 2.